Howdy shipmates, it's Captain Dan here. Welcome to Story Time with Captain Dan. A time to tell tales old and new for young and old. Time to lift our spirits when they need lifting. Please keep sending in your tales and your shout outs. We need more tales because I'm going to run out, I need you to send them in to help me out so we can share in this joyful time together. But enough of that. Let's get to today's tale. Let's have a look at what it is. Oh, it's The Red Woolen Blanket by Bob Graham. Anybody know this one? Captain Dan doesn't, but let's have a look. Nice illustrations though. A blanket for the new baby when he comes. Oh, thank you. I think it will be a girl, said the mum. Julia had her own blanket right from the start. Julia was born in the winter. She slept in a special cot, wrapped tight as a parcel. She had a band of plastic on her wrist with a name on it. She's as bald as an egg, said her father, helping himself to another chocolate. Julia came home from the hospital with her new red blanket, a bear, a grey woolen dog and a plastic duck. Waiting at home for her were a large pair of pants with pink flowers and a beautiful blue jacket specially knitted by her grandmother. Isn't blue for boys? No, it really doesn't matter, said Mum to Dad. Doesn't matter what colour. Wrapped up in the red woolen blanket, Julia slept in her own basket. Or in the front garden in the watery winter sunshine. Her hair sprouted from the holes in her tea-cosy hat. She smiled. Nothing worried Julia. Julia grew. She slept in a cot and sucked and chewed the corners of her not-so-new blanket. She rubbed the red woolen blanket gently against her nose. Captain Dan likes doing that. Julia's mum carried her to the shops in a pack on her back. The pack was meant to carry the shopping, but Julia liked it so much up there that the pushchair was used for the shopping and the pack was used for Julia. Your baby dropped his blanket. He's very cute. Thank you. She's a girl, said Mum. Watch what happens when I pull this out of her mouth. She smiles, Then Julia was crawling and her blanket went with her. It was chewed and screwed and oiled. Some of it got left behind. Some of it went up the vacuum cleaner. And some of it was trodden underfoot. Then Julia took her first step. Julia made her own small room from the blanket. It was pink twilight under there. From outside the creature had a mind of its own. It heaved and throbbed. Julia was safe under the blanket. Wherever Julia went, her blanket went too. In the spring, in the summer, in the autumn, in the winter. She took it with her wherever she went. Julia was getting bigger. Her blanket was getting smaller. A sizable piece was lost in the lawnmower. Oh no. If Julia ran off deep into a forest, said her father, she could find her way back by the blanket threads left behind, he said. Silly old father. The day that Julia started school, she had a handy little blanket, not much bigger than a postage stamp. Because it would never do to take a whole blanket to school, unless you were Billy, who used his blanket as a lone avenger's cape. Sometime during Julia's first day at school, she lost the last thread of her blanket. It may have been while playing in the schoolyard. It may have been. Or having her lunch under the trees. It could have been anywhere at all. It just disappeared. And do you know what? Well, she hardly missed her red blanket. So that's the story of the red woolen blanket by Bob Graham. I do hope you enjoyed it. But that's enough from Captain Dan for today. It's going to be time to bid you a fond farewell for today. Please keep sending in your tales and your shout-outs so we can keep our spirits high. But that's enough for today. You know what comes next, don't you? Good night, good night. Oh, sweet repose. Don't lie on your belly, because you might just squash your nose. Good night.